Crissy. I am Crystal Scott, your host and your plug for a 21st century therapy experience. I am especially excited because I have a real treat for you. I have a couple of my family members who have stopped by to share in with me on this special holiday episode of In the Mix with Crissy, and we would like to share this episode with you and your family. So gather everyone around and stay tuned. I'll be right back with our special guest right here for more on In the Mix with Crissy. And our special guests, please help me welcome Josh Sr. and Josh Jr. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, driving all the way from H-Town. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yes. I'm excited because we have lots to talk about, and I hope your family is gathered around so that we can share some of our experiences that we have had along the way during this time of the year, and hopefully your family can resonate with some of our experiences. I'd like to start with a particular time when Josh received a gift that he was absolutely not expecting. Josh Sr., tell us all about it.
When I was younger, one Christmas I received a bike as a gift, and I wasn't expecting a bike, and was sad and I was happy, and it was just so much of an emotional roller coaster. I ended up crying, so it was a good Christmas experience for me.
I love when we share that story. It never gets old because, and of course, Josh couldn't see the look on his face when he was laughing and crying at the very same time. And of course, as parents, we were just excited that he got something that we knew he wanted, and we knew he would be surprised because all along we were not letting on to him that he was gonna get this bike. So this was like the greatest thing to see the look on his face when he actually got what he wanted. All right, Josh, why don't you tell us, Josh Jr., why don't you tell us, if you can remember, what was your favorite toy that you got as a little boy?
I would say a big Lego piece that was like a police Lego car piece. It was like 64 Lego pieces.
64 Lego pieces?
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys something about this little one. He is the Lego king. I remember from him being very young, and it did not matter whatever year it was for Christmas, no matter how old he was. When I would ask, what do you want? It was some type of Lego. And he has been into Legos for a long time, but I don't see a lot of Lego pieces around when I visit, so I'm guessing you've outgrown Legos, yeah?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. You're on to bigger and better things in life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Josh is 11 years old. Can I tell your age to the people?
Yeah.
I already told him, huh? Okay. Well, the cat is out of the
You
bag.
can just say I'm big enough now.
He said to just say I'm big enough now. Okay, so he's big enough now, done with the Legos, on to bigger and better things. I want to also move on to a time when Josh Sr. must have been somewhere between 12 and 13 years old. And I switched up the idea of Christmas, the traditional idea of gift giving. Do you remember that, Josh, and what that was like?
Yeah, so when she first switched up the whole idea of Christmas, it was kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't prepared for it, especially being a kid. You just think it's all about gifts. But when she did it, she kind of explained why she was doing it, and it didn't make sense at first. But as I gotten older and make sense on why she did that, and I'm grateful she did do that.
Okay. And if you notice, he didn't say what I did because we're saving that for later when we have another special guest joining us by phone. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what our family did to switch up what the way Christmas was experienced in our home. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a little cheat sheet. I wanted my children to understand that the real meaning of Christmas was not about gifts. Okay, we take the time out to celebrate as far as our spirituality, to celebrate the life of Christ. And I did not want my kids to think about Christmas as a commercial time to get and to give things. I wanted them to think upon our spirituality, and I wanted them to keep that as the central focus. And I promised them if they would go along with this with me, then I would make their birthday the biggest ever. But they would not receive gifts anymore on Christmas, if you can imagine that. But you're going to have to wait and hear more about what we did in place of gift giving on more with In the Mix with Crissy. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In the Mix with Crissy. As I sit here with my family, my special guests, Josh Sr. and Josh Jr., I also have another surprise for you. I have on the line here my daughter, my oldest, Dawn, and she will share with us while we talk about what it was like when we shifted from the way we traditionally celebrated Christmas and we introduced our new idea. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Okay, so Dawn, we are talking with our guest about the way we changed Christmas and we implemented a new way of celebrating what it meant to be spiritual, to be Christians, and to think about Christmas a little differently. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Well, tell us a little about it then.
Then you taught us that Christmas was not just about giving gifts, but it was more about Jesus' birthday. That's what it was based upon, the birth of Christ. So that's how we celebrated it.
Okay. And I want you then, Josh Sr., to chime in. Do you remember what we did one Christmas at church to demonstrate this new way of celebrating Christmas? Do you remember at all? Do you need me to give you a prompt?
Yeah, give me a little prompt.
Okay, Josh needs a prompt. So we decided, we were youth leaders at a church, and we decided that we would give gifts to Jesus. Do you remember now what those gifts were and how we gave them? Still don't remember?
No.
Josh, what about you, Dawn?
I had the idea, but I'm not altogether sure.
Okay, take a shot at it.
You have to remind me what
Okay.
church
Okay, so we were at Havens Court Church in Oakland, California, and I'll give you a prompt. I had all of the youth to write what they wanted to give Jesus for his birthday. Do you remember now? Do you remember now? Still don't remember. So on pieces of paper, each child, including the two of mine who don't remember, maybe they weren't really on board with my plan like I thought they were. But anyway, they wrote what they would give Jesus. And some of the things the kids came up with, they wanted to be more obedient to their parents. some of the kids wrote they would get better grades in school. Now is it ringing a bell?
Yeah.
Josh is nodding yes. Okay, Don, you can't see him, but he's saying yes. So some of the things were practical things that kids came up with that they would do differently, and that was the gift they offered. Okay, and instead of receiving material, physical, tangible gifts, they thought about ways that they could improve themselves, and this would be the gift they would give Jesus for Christmas. Now, do you guys remember?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, I wanted to share with our guests, because sometimes people don't know that there are so many different ways to celebrate the holiday. You don't necessarily have to change the way you're doing it, but you can add, maybe mix it up a little and do something where you have an eclectic approach to celebrating Christmas. Hey, you can do whatever you want. So why not make it special? Why not make it great? And why not hang on? And I'll be back with more on In the Mix with Crissy. Welcome back to In the Mix with Crissy as we wrap up the idea of what it means to celebrate the holiday season, the Christmas holiday season. I have shared my experience as a mom with my adult son here, and we have gone down memory lane to discuss some of the things that we remember, some of the memories we cherish. And now I sit with my adult son who is here with his son, and I would like Josh to share what it's been like being a parent and maybe some special moments on Christmas holiday that you'd like to share with us.
As we all know, being a parent doesn't come with instructions, so everything we learn is as we go. And from being a child and certain things that we did when we were younger and certain experiences we had, I was able to take that as I got older and pass them on to my son. Certain traditions, just as far as food and music and just sharing love and focusing on things that are not just about presents and me, but doing for others and being selfless. So those are good things that I'm glad that I'm able to pass on to my son, and hopefully he can pass that on to his kids, and to keep that aspect of the tradition alive. And hopefully we can continue to have many more and continue to be blessed.
Thank you, Josh. And I could not be more proud to have shared this particular episode with my adult kids, who are just the most amazing. And I'm not just saying it because they're my children. They really are amazing. They made parenting easy enough that if I had to do it all over again, I would not change a thing. And so I'm proud to sit here with him and to have had Dawn to chime in and to share what she remembers. And before we close, I would like the little one here, Josh, to share with little boys and girls out there a very happy holiday wish.
All boys and girls, be nice to your parents, wash your hands, social distance, and have a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year's.
Thank you, Josh. That was beautiful. Beautiful wish to all of you beautiful people out there. And from me and my family, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year right here from In the Mix with Crissy.
all girls and boys, be good to your parents, wash your hands, and stay 6 feet apart. And dang it!
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, you're gonna have to delete that and
Okay.
fix that.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you, Josh. So let's give her a mother kiss. Thank you, Josh.